I want to bring in our favorite economist, economics and public policy professor at the University of Michigan, Justin Wolfers. So good to see you, Professor. Listen, Trump says he is surprised that prices are not even higher than what we're seeing right now. But Exxon says the worst is still to come. Tell me, set the record straight. Have we hit the peak of these high prices?
There was two ways the war could turn out. It could turn out the way he said it would, fast. We go in, we win, we get out. World oil markets are back to normal. Iran gets back to normal. America gets back to normal. We were promised 4 to 5 weeks. What are we at, 7 or 8 right now? And he appears to have fallen asleep in front of the TV watching this. So that didn't happen. The other thing that could have happened is it could have gone on too long, created too much damage, created sustained damage, and that's what we're in the middle of right now. That's why you're seeing that at the pump. That's why we're seeing very big effects probably on the US budget. And that's also why you're seeing confidence in the administration and the economy falling.
But despite the concerns about oil, stocks just ended their best month since, 2020? Investors seem to be making money, and I mean hand over foot, Justin. And Trump keeps pointing to this to suggest everything's fine with the economy. Is that the right indicator?
Well, let's get a little bit of context in there first. Stocks just had a great month because they previously had a terrible month. When it looked like Trump was going to indulge the worst of his aggressive instincts, when he was going to wipe Iran off the face of the earth, stocks tanked. And the single best way to create a stock market surge, create the fear of God in everyone that you're a madman, and then come out at the other side and say, not quite that crazy. And markets are really happy about that. And to be honest, so am I. I'm breathing a little deeper, a little more controlled, actually, knowing we're not in that business. The other thing that's going on out there, actually, is the AI boom. It's up to the viewers how much they want to give the president credit for that. But the AI boom is pretty much accounted for all of the economic growth the United States has had over the last 6 months. Strip that out, there's almost nothing going on. So for folks at home who see very positive numbers but don't see it in their lives, that's almost all because none of us are working in AI.
Well, the president's also insisting really, that prices are going to plummet once the war ends. Listen to what he said.
It's going to come tumbling down. There is so much oil out there. It's pent up. It's locked up in the Strait of Hormuz. When all of that stuff comes out, you're going to see prices dropping on gasoline like you've never seen. And all of that, electricity, gasoline, anything having to do with energy. Grocery prices are way down. Used car prices are way down. Look at eggs. Eggs are down by 4, even 5 times.
Is that immediately going to happen once the Strait opens? I thought it was prices up like a rocket, down like a feather.
My word, you have a deep reading of the economics literature. That's exactly how it goes. I want to share something for the viewers at home. Anytime a politician takes all of the different commodities in the economy and decides to focus on only one, what does that tell you? If someone wants to talk about eggs, they think eggs are the good story for them. And what that tells you is the narrower the commodity they choose, that then tells you that they must believe not eggs, which, by the way, is 99.9% of the economy. The not egg economy is looking a whole lot more expensive right now and in a whole lot more trouble. You could always see that anytime a politician does that.
Well, they might want to read more from you on that to pivot away from that. But I want to pivot to the national debt for a moment, because the U.S. debt to GDP ratio is now above 100%. And we're spending $1.33 for every dollar the U.S. brings in revenue. But Trump is saying, here's what he said about the debt when he first ran for president in 2016.
I call myself the king of debt. I'm the king of debt. I'm great with debt. Nobody knows debt better than me. I've made a fortune by using debt. And if things don't work out, I renegotiate the debt. That's a smart thing, not a stupid thing. I like debt for me. I don't like debt for the country.
So from what you're seeing, is he attempting to get the debt under control?
Mate, one thing I like about you, Laura, is you keep your eye on the big picture and the big issues that aren't getting the headlines, but that really matter. And the national debt is absolutely one of them. The initial claim that he was going to get rid of the national debt was a lie and a lie on its face. But I want to hit you with a statistic that I think is just amazing. The amount we add to the debt each year is called the deficit. The deficit right now, if you look outside of wars and recessions, is as high as it's ever been. Normally, we'd run a big deficit if we were trying to help out an economy that was really ailing. And so the current level of the deficit simply makes no sense given where we are right now. If you spend all the money today, that simply means there's less money in the future, or it means tax rises in the future.
Justin Wolfers, a lot to consider. I'm glad it was you. Thank you so much.